A very good morning to all our dear viewers, and welcome to this talk conducted by Global Education and Training Institute. Today, in this talk series, we have with us Dr. Modang Rita, who has joined all the way from Arunachal Pradesh. And today, she is going to deliver her insight into a very vital and significant topic, that is life skills education for personal development of students. Before we begin the talk, I would like you all to get introduced to her. She is a senior lecturer cum principal in charge at District Institute of Education and Training at Yachurli Lower Shubhanchari District, Arunachal Pradesh. She has around 15 years of teaching experience to her credit. She has been nominated a number of times by the government of Arunachal Pradesh to attend customized training for institutional leaders. She has an experience in imparting numbers of pre-service and in-service trainings. She has also obtained diploma in ECE from NCERT and has been working on it since long back. She has the credit of shouldering the responsibilities of state as well as district resource person in a number of training programs. She has been a part of NCERT research based academic works. Her doctorate degree has been in folk narratives of Apatani tribes of Arunachal Pradesh. So, here, please welcome along with me Dr. Modang Rita to give her talk on life skills education for personal development of students. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you and we can also view your presentation.
Okay, thank you so much, Sunita ma'am, for such a sweet and lovely introduction. And I'm grateful to the GETI team for inviting me to have a talk on an important topic, which I think is a very, very significant for professions like a teacher. And here I also would like to thank Sunita Gandhi ma'am, who is a founder president of GETI, who is basically an educator, researcher, innovator, and author. And the the field, the area, the what to say, the platform which she has brought for the leaders in the education sectors is a wonderful one, where we all can come over and we can share our ideas and knowledge to the vast what to say, our populations who are interested in certain kind of profession. So thank you, ma'am, for everything. Right now, shall I go for presentation?
Sure, ma'am, definitely. Please go ahead.
Okay, so dear viewers, today I am here with a topic: teacher as a motivator. So right now in our country, teachers. Before I go for this topic, I would just like to mention that I would be bilingual because in Arunachal Pradesh we use Hindi as a lingua franca. So for better comprehension, I will be using English as well as Hindi. So please bear with the situation. This is for the common cause. So I will be in bilingual. Then teachers as a motivator, when I say teacher need to be a motivator in the sense we need to motivate them to reach to the uh, objectives which we have set, or which they have to arrive to. Without motivation, students won't be doing their best. Teachers should always be at the back as a supporter, as a facilitator, and as a motivator. So right now I'll be talking on this topic. I shall proceed to my second slide here over here. You see, it goes like: give your students as choice whenever possible. That means when you are a teacher, you are a motivator, and when you are a motivator, you need to think about giving choice to the students whenever it is possible. Sometimes we keep watertight compartment for the students. That means कि आप लोगों को ऐसा करना है, वैसा करना है, and we make them a very tight compartment कि उन लोगों को ऐसा ही करना है. Actually, when we give them space, everybody in this world, everybody in this nature needs space to grow. Likewise, for students also, we need to give them space, a space in terms of their choices. Like offering choices gives students a sense of control rather than feeling constantly directed. Means constantly directed, जब हम लोगों को बहुत ही rules and regulations के अंदर ये होना है वो होना है करते हैं, तो they are bound to be bored. So we need to give them space, and when we offer them choices, they are likely to go do well in whatever they are good at. For example, you can give assignment themes and allow students to pick from them. For assignments also, sometimes we are so bound, no, sometimes we just follow what is mentioned in the curriculum, and we give them this that questions. Sometimes we can be very creative, some topics related to the content which we can create, or else we can give them choice also to make out some kinds of work on certain topics which is related to the ongoing topic. Likewise, when we give them such kind of area, such kind of space for them, they will definitely grow, and they will definitely do their best, because the creativity, the scope for the creativity, the scope for their own growth has been given by a teacher. And next point, when you see teenagers with a sense of choice will feel less like there is a huge authoritative presence over them. Teenagers, this age is a very critical age, and as a teacher we need to understand that. So when we deal with the teenagers, then what you need to do, you have to have understand their psychology, their growth pattern. What sometimes when we deal with the teenagers, we become very authoritative, and that age, when this is a critical age. Why I say so? Because in this age the students, they are growing and they feel like they are mature enough to understand everything, but they are not that mature. That is some considerations, that is what to say, that is a normal phenomena of teenagers. So we need to understand that. So we are not supposed to be very very authoritative, and then additionally they will feel like they have more opportunities for creative if you offer them choices. Yeah, when we offer them choices, especially the growing child, the teenagers, they will enjoy these feelings, and they will find that creativity can have a wings and they can do well. Now shall I proceed to the next slide? You see, inspire the students by introducing activities that relate to them. How just you go to these lines first? Incorporate popular culture, relevant news, and interesting or provocative themes into their curriculum. These are the things that students are comfortable and familiar with. So they will be more inclined to pay attention. That means we should inspire students to activities that relate to them. Sometimes it so happen that whatever we are doing does not have any relations with the real world. So what happened, they do not find it interesting, because whatever they're learning should have some kind of applications. They do not see this kind of application in their real world, so the things go simply in vain. So you need to relate to their real life, and read the news and pay attention to what your students are talking about before and after class. Yes, so generation gaps may be there, situational gaps may be there, circumstances gaps may be there, status gaps may be there. We need to understand, we need to have consider for all these things. And as a teacher, when we are going to interact with the students, we have to be updated with the latest news. Like we have to go to the news, and we have to pay attention of the hot topics which is circulating around, so that we can, who knows, this topic may be very much they may find this very interesting, and the topic may be very hot among them. So if we are not aware of the recent or very hot topic in and around in the present days, then we may be outdated, and we may not be able to deal with them in a proper way. Like you see, there may be a way to connect a celebrity scandal to a topic you are trying to teach, if you think creatively enough. Creativity has its own benefits and own advantages. Likewise, when like I have mentioned that creativity, the word celebrity scandal. For us, celebrity scandal is not a topic to be discussed, or may not a topic to be brought into classroom or in the school environment. But being a creative teacher, you can connect it to a topic, or to a lesson, or to the thing which you are talking with in a classroom. You can connect it in a creative way, in a healthy way. That can be done. Okay, and then do not dismiss what your students like to talk about as petty conversation. Yes, you see, for a grown up people, for a teacher, we take everything for granted that we know everything. So what we do is we just ignore the topic or the concern of the students. We just, when they come with some certain talk, or when certain like topic goes around among them, we just dismiss them ki ओके, नो नीड टू टॉक अबाउट, इसको बात करने का जरूरी नहीं है, ये क्लास का बात नहीं है, ये वो नहीं है करके हम मना कर देते हैं. लेकिन हमको ये नजरअंदाज इस तरह से नहीं करना चाहिए, क्योंकि हमारे लिए शायद वो बेकार की बात होगा, और हमारे लिए शायद वो कोई दरकार की बात नहीं होगा, लेकिन बच्चों के लिए उस उनको उनका एज के लिए वो शायद जरूरी होगा, और उन इसीलिए तो वो बातचीत कर रहे हैं. इफ द टॉपिक इज नॉट ऑफ समथिंग गुड, और ऑफ नॉट ऑफ अ कंसर्न, देन नोबडी टॉक्स. This is a concern for the young students. That's why they are talking. You can take in a very healthy way, and you cannot simply dismiss their any topic as a petty conversation. Uh, Now, shall I proceed to the next slide? Teach at the level that is challenging and respectful to the intelligence of your students. Right now, you see, teach at the level that is challenging and respectful to the intelligence of your students. Why I say so? You see, students are heterogeneous in the classroom. Some are excellent, some are average, and some are below average. What we do, we sometimes generalize it. And when we generalize, and when we generalize, or we sometimes keep up to the pace of the teacher only, we never consider the intelligence and the level of the students. When we do so, we create boredom for the students. And in when I talk and average, when I consult a topic, or when we assigned any work on, when our basis of average level, then what happened? The intelligent, very intelligent, excellent students find it very boring, and they are out of the world. They don't find the classroom interesting. They won't be sitting in a attentive way. They won't be paying attention to the teacher's talk. So as a teacher, you need to understand all these things. And being a creative teacher, you need to understand this, and you need to put the level of topic in a challenging, in a respectful way, so that all the students level has been put under consideration. If you give students assignment that are far too easy, they will likely turn out. Yes, far too easy. बहुत आसान वाला असाइनमेंट देने से भी, छोटे बच्चों के हिसाब से नहीं, अगर ये बड़ा हो जाता है, अगर ये बच्चे बड़ा मतलब हायर क्लासेस में चले जाते हैं, तो उन लोगों का लेवल भी देखते देखते हम लोगों को पता चल जाता है कि बच्चे कौन कौन से लेवल में है. छोटा से बच्चे जो प्राइमरी से प्री प्राइमरी से लेकर प्राइमरी, उसमें भी हमें मालूम चल जाता है, लेकिन उनमें हम लोगों को वर्क डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में इतना हायर लेवल लोअर लेवल करके हम लोग को इतना फर्क नहीं होता. लेकिन जब बच्चे थोड़ा बड़ा होने लग जाते हैं, हायर इन द सेंस एलिमेंट्री 6+ में आ जाते हैं, तो हम लोगों को ज्यादा से ज्यादा उन लोगों का इंटेलिजेंस लेवल को भी देखना होता है. तो क्या होता है इसमें देखा जाए तो, ये हम लोग असाइनमेंट ऐसे भी दे देते हैं कि बहुत आसान वाला, बहुत आसान. ऐसे असाइनमेंट दे देने से क्या होगा कि हमारे जो इंटेलिजेंट, वेरी प्रोडिजी टाइप ऑफ चिल्ड्रन ऑल्सो आर देयर इन द क्लासरूम. सो यू नीड टू हैव कंसिडरेशन फॉर दिस वैरायटी. यू नीड टू अरेंज द असाइनमेंट्स इन अ, सभी को देना है, मतलब असाइनमेंट ऐसे होना चाहिए कि वो असाइनमेंट कुछ भाग क्रिएटिव बच्चों, जो हायर इंटेलिजेंट बच्चों के लिए भी हो, कुछ लेवल ऐसे भी दिया जाए जो एवरेज बच्चों के लिए हो, जो कुछ ऐसे भी देना चाहिए जो बिलो एवरेज कर सके, ताकि सभी को अपना स्पेस मिले और सभी धीरे धीरे अपनी तरह से ग्रो हो पाए और आगे बढ़ सके. देन If at all possible, be available for outside help in order to ensure students understand the higher level topics. Yes, we need to be available for the students almost every time. Simply in the classroom, sometimes we are so bound na कि क्लास में ही क्लास का टॉपिक है, यहीं भी यहीं डिस्कस करो, है कि नहीं? स्कूल में है, क्लासरूम में है, कॉलेजेस में है, तो ये आपका पढ़ाई लिखाई से रिलेटेड जो है, you just come over here and you talk to me on this topic and the school environment, classroom environment. No, they never entertain them outside the classroom, but you need to be accessible, you need to give space to students. Who knows, they may find it tough to talk to you in a classroom, they may give a little this one a space so that they can come to you to talk. Even if they come to your home, even if they meet you somewhere else in a staff room or in away from the campus, if they come with a topic to have a clarity on it, please help them so that they can come out and they understand the topic in a better, in a very convincing way. And this and if we do so, then they will definitely grow. And next is, you see, check in with your students in the form of quizzes or informal discussion to gauge how well they are managing the challenge level of your curriculum. You see, you can check in your students with the form of quizzes or informal discussions. Simply writing black and white is not the evidence of intelligence or the achievement level of the students. Simply people, the teachers sometimes go for this examination, written examination only, but it is not only prescribed one. Okay, you can be creative, you can talk in a very informal discussion, you can bring them in a healthy environment, a classroom, some kind of quizzes related to topic which we have discussed, and we can put some informal discussions also. Sometimes very formal kind of environment also creates suffocation for the students. When we give them informal space, they can open up their ideas, they express themselves. That is what I experience in this my service tenure. I have been dealing with the students since long, and I know that they find it easy when I give them informal space, isn't? So let us see next point. It is important to make sure that everyone in the class understand the material. Yes, your material, whatever you are dealing with, you need to make sure that all the students understand it. That is not only for the a certain category of students, that should be common for the class. And you may have to make sure that this material, the topic, the things which you are talking is achieved, or you can say attained, or been received by all the students in the classroom. So here in next this one, uh, take your students seriously. स्टूडेंट सीरियसली समटाइम्स इट्स सो हैपन दैट वी टीच, हम लोग ऐसे होता है कि हम लोग सब टीचर है तो जानते हैं, हम लोग को हम लोग का टॉपिक हम लोग को पता है, हम लोग को क्या करना है क्या नहीं करना है। और हम लोग ऐसे भी समझते हैं कि कभी बच्चे जो है अरे बड़े हो गए हैं, उन लोग खुद कर लेगा। बहुत सारा को तो मैंने ऐसा भी देखा है कि क्लास क्या करना है इस पे, है कि नहीं, क्या पढ़ाना है इस पे एक नोट्स दे दो हो जाएगा ना, बना बनाए नोट्स दे देंगे बच्चों पर, बच्चे पढ़ लेंगे हो जाएगा। लेकिन काम इस तरह से नहीं होता है। हम भी उस टॉपिक, क्योंकि जो भी हो टॉपिक डायनामिक होता है, एजुकेशन का सारा कंसेप्ट बहुत ही डायनामिक होता है। हमने जो अपने ज़माने में पढ़ा था, समय के साथ-साथ उस कंसेप्ट में भी कुछ ना कुछ बदलाव आया है। और जितना हम अपने बच्चों को इंटेक रख कर के पढ़ा के उस टॉपिक में टच होके पढ़ाते हैं, तो क्या होता है, हमको भी ज़्यादा समझ में आता है और हमको बच्चों को समझाने में भी, अपडेटेड करने में भी आसानी होती है। तो इसी तरह से I would like that all the teachers should keep themselves updated, keep in touch with the topic, so that when they go to the classroom to teach the students, to take a session with the students, they can be thorough with. Then what I have to say is that teenager will resent you if they can sense a condensing or pandering tone. Do not underestimate the importance of simply treating them like you would treat any other adult. This is a case of teenagers. And this next point, this means you should consider criticisms and compliments equally. Yeah, criticism, no, criticism. Sometimes people, we as a professionals, we are also not ready to get any means we are not ready to this one receive any kind of criticism. We think ourselves as ki I know it, Who are you to tell me all these things? No, but we need to understand this criticism. We need to, this is a kind of feedback only. This will give you immense space to grow in your own area, in your own field. So be always ready, be ready to receive any kind of criticism that will be a feedback, positive feedback for you. And compliments, everybody like and appreciate receiving compliments. That compliments is a, it is a, what to say, is a dose, very healthy dose. But sometimes the same person who are ready to receive compliments are not ready to receive criticism. And if you are not ready to receive criticism, you are not going to grow. You need to receive this criticism. This will let you grow in your profession. Students may be able to tell you ways that your teacher should be improved, which you may not realize yourself. Yes, uh, students are the great observer. We don't know what we are doing, or we are sometimes not knowing our own kind of mistakes or our own lacunas. But students are keen observers. They may point out these things or that things of your concerned teacher, and when they point it out, please realize it and take it as a positive feedback. They also may be given a chance to give a feedback to their students. And because these two sides, no, when these two sides go hand in hand, proper growth will be there. I hope so. And here you see, next point, while the way in which they tell you may not always be respectful, try to consider what you can learn from the critic. I mean to say that sometimes, because the way they convey you may not be respectful sometimes, no. uh, Sometimes why I say is that किसी किसी का तो बोलने का तरीका भी ऐसे होता है ना। और मैं तो बच्चों को हमेशा बोलती हूँ कि रिटन लैंग्वेज एंड स्पोकन लैंग्वेज बोथ आर डिफरेंट। व्हेन यू राइट योर this one, when you write language, then you need to be in a written language form. That will be some that will have some formalities. Yeah, and you need to maintain so much of structures and all. Then ऐसा होता है। लेकिन बहुत लोगों को, इवन एजुकेटेड लोगों को भी मैंने देखा है कि मतलब नज़रअंदाज कर देते हैं इनको। तो अभी फासला नहीं रहता है कि रिटन इंग्लिश में क्या डिफरेंस है और हमारा बोलचाल के इंग्लिश में क्या डिफरेंस है। ये तो मेंटेन करना होगा। एंड ऐसा आई एम अ इंग्लिश फैकल्टी बेसिकली, देन आई प्रिसाइजली ऑलवेज से दैट maintain this beauty of written English, written composition and spoken English, so that these two have their own beautiful space. और बच्चों को छोटा समय से ही, जब वो फाउंडेशन लेवल से ही जब वो लिखना, कंपोजिशंस करना, बोलना सीख जाते हैं, तो हम लोग को ग्रेजुअली सिखाना जरूरी है ये सब। तो ही वो कुछ आगे जाकर के सीख जाते हैं। नहीं तो उनको हम बताएंगे नहीं कि ये रूल्स है, ये इसमें ऐसा होना है, वैसे होना है। तो बच्चों को language means language, they don't find any difference in that, but there is a vast difference and you need to maintain that. And यहाँ मैं बोल रही थी क्या, ट्राई टू कंसिडर, जब वो बोलेंगे बच्चे कि कोई कोई बच्चा सीधा मुंह पे, दे आर वेरी एक्सट्रोवर्ट, नो, दे में से कि टीचर यू आर नॉट डूइंग लाइक दिस, यू आर लाइक दिस, नो, देन ट्राई टू कंसिडर, ट्राई टू ड्रॉ from the critics, try to draw what they actually wants to say. Sometimes they may not be putting out their thoughts in the way they are supposed to put actually, but as a teacher and as a matured one, we need to draw it. We need to understand what actually they wants to say, right? And do not enforce silly rules or play games meant for children. Yeah, teenagers want to be feel like adult and will resent rules which force them to behave like children. Yes, when they grow up, I already told you that is the age phenomena. So you need to understand it. You need to treat them according to their age, and then be approachable so that students can feel comfortable enough to come to you with issues or concern. So as a teacher, as a motivator, you need to be approachable, and that means you need to feel your students comfortable. Means, you see, when we talk and we spend time, we love to have a time with the people who give us a comfortable space, isn't? When the place where we find suffocation, and when we find any kind of unhealthy being around, when we there we don't try to put ourselves sit for even a while, no. So likewise, students, the very young mind, no, they also want a very comfortable space. And when you are approachable, when you give them such a comfortable space for this one, their issues and concern, then they automatically will be loving you. They will find you, they will look for you, and they would like to have a time with you. And when I say always be open, so that they believe nothing they have to say in ridiculous, okay. And by doing this, student will more inclined to let you know when they are feeling uninspired. Yes, that much frankness, that much space should be there, no. And when this occurs, consider it a challenge for you to find a way to motivate your children. When they open up to you, when they give you signal that you are monotonous, a teacher or monotonous, okay, and you are creating boredom for them, then if you get such signal, you need to be creative, you need to have your own creativity, so to change the environment in such a healthy way that they love to be in a session or in a classroom or at a time with you. Then here you see, you do not need to be act as a therapist to each and every students, but it is important to be mindful of external influences in students life, which could affect their learning. Yes, all the time therapist like means हमेशा उन लोगों को आगे पीछे ना इस तरह से उन लोगों को ये करना है वो करना है, इसके बाद आपको ये करना है, उसके बाद आपको वो करना है, जरूरी नहीं है कि नहीं. They are also having a they are also having mind, isn't they are also having knowledge, they are also brilliant in themselves. And if you give them space, the external influences, when you give them help, certain kind of support, no, they simply will learn, they will grow. External support need all the time, ये करना है वो करना है ये ऐसा ही करना है, इस तरह से नहीं होगा. They are mindful, they are having brilliance in themselves. You have to have a role of external influence. And do not ever force the students to tell you why they are feeling depressed or inspired. Try to let them come to you about the issue. Sometimes we are so inquisitive, sometimes we are so nagging ना किसी को देख करके क्या हो गया क्या नहीं हो गया है कि नहीं. When we find students upset or कुछ लगता है कुछ दिनों से नहीं आया, जब वो वापस आया फिर ये बहुत सारा मतलब उनमें कुछ चेंजेस है, तो we become very nagging and very this one, we insist कि क्या हो गया क्या नहीं हो गया ना. तो we are not supposed to. Everyone needs space, okay. We are not supposed to be very nagging. तो उन लोगों को, बच्चों को भी अपना स्पेस चाहिए. अगर वो उनको लगता है वो डिप्रेस है, अनइंस्पायर्ड है, समय देना है उनको. वो धीरे धीरे वो अपना इश्यू से ओवरकम भी होकर के आएगा. और and if you are approachable and if you are compensate in this one, then they will come to you. They will come to you to talk, they will disclose you about their issues and concern. That is very true, they will come to you. But thing is that you need to give them space. Even if they are of some bad mood, let them give their space. They will overcome, then they will settle themselves. And if they are about to if they wish to tell, and if you are approachable, they surely will come to you. And I hope as a teacher we need to be with them to help them out. And be sure your students understand why they are learning the material. So we need to understand even if we talk of certain topic, or if we talk about certain topic in the classroom or any kind of discussion, they need to know, they need to understand why actually we are talking about these things, why these materials, no. Then oftentimes students feel a large disconnect between the material and real world. In addition to teaching the material, teach how the material can apply to real world, both in workplace and in everyday life. Yes, and before a few minutes back, also I was mentioning this. That means whatever they are learning, that should have real life meaning. They should get meaning to it. Simply learning in the classroom, kind of four wall of and this one classroom, and when they go out, they don't find any meaning in it, they don't find any use of that learning in outside their classroom. So that will not encourage them to understand the material. And even if they understand, even if they are listening, they will simply it will simply go overhead. They're over. They won't remember. They won't find it because यूज उसका है ही नहीं, तो उन लोग सुन के क्या फायदा है ना? तो उन लोग को लगता है कि ये तो आम जिंदगी में हमारा यूज नहीं है कि नहीं, तो हम इसको सुन के क्या फायदा है कि नहीं, तो उसका क्या दरकार है इसको, तो उनको मजा भी नहीं लगेगा और ध्यान भी नहीं देंगे। तो उनको जो मटेरियल्स हम बात कर रहे हैं, जिस चीज पे हम चर्चा कर रहे हैं, जो भी हम उनको दे रहे हैं, उनको हम रियल लाइफ से कनेक्ट करना चाहिए। रियल लाइफ से जब हम कनेक्ट करेंगे तब उनको इच्छा होगा सुनने के लिए और उनको इंटरेस्ट होगा, क्योंकि वो जब लगेगा उनको कि ये हमको सुन करके बाहर में इस्तेमाल करने का मुझे मौका मिला जाएगा, और उनको मौका भी मिलेगा जरूर, अगर आपने उनको कॉन्टेक्चुअलाइज करके इस तरह से आपने उनको मटेरियल्स दिया, समझाया तो। Then, for example, an English teacher should try to relate how different interpretation of novel can help students think about different perspective people can have. So, as an English teacher, understanding, no, we that is the this written the lines which I just simply read out is so genuine, no, because understanding, the level of understanding, the level of interpretation differs. As I already have told you that classroom is a heterogeneous kind, so their understanding level, interpretation levels also differ. So as a teacher, I give them space to interpret the material or topic in their own way. I give them the background of the composition, but I give them the chance. Okay, if this is the lines of a poem, how would you like to interpret? What is your understanding? Their understanding, their interpretation may be differ. No problem. That is their creativity. Understanding interpretation is nothing, is of no like watertight compartment. They can be creative in their own interpretation, and as a teacher, you need to give them space to interpret the thing, the materials, the content in their own way. Likewise, they will grow. And like the teacher could then connect this to how it can help in analyzing people, motivate in workplace, in relationship, in politics, or in any interpersonal context. Then you can relate it after. Let them interpret, let them have their sharing of understanding. They will share you, they will interpret you, and then you can connect it. You can connect it how it can, help the analyzing, and you can motivate, you can throw the interpretation, you can just let them analyze, uh, to connect it to the workplace, isn't, and the relation in politics or any interpersonal context. Try to avoid rote memorization of material. Rote memorization has its own benefits also, but उसको भी कौन सा चीज में रोट मेमोराइजेशन करवाना है वो अपना अपना होता है। हर चीज में रोट मेमोराइजेशन कराएगा तो बच्चा ग्रो होने का मौका नहीं मिलेगा। कुछ कुछ चीज ऐसे भी है जिसको मेमोराइजेशन करना है उनको, तो टीचर्स को अच्छी भली भांति मालूम है कि किस चीज को उनको कराना है मेमोराइजेशन। ये भी एक, इसका भी एक फायदा है, और इसको भी वो मेमोराइजेशन का भी अपना पावर है। माइंड का पावर है तभी तो वो मेमोराइजेशन कर सकते हैं ना। जिसका माइंड पावर नहीं वो मेमोराइजेशन भी नहीं कर सकते हैं। तो मेमोराइजेशन का भी अपना फायदा है, उनको अपना जगह रखना है। हर चीजों में मेमोराइजेशन कराना नहीं है, तो इसका ध्यान टीचर्स को रखना है। Then students will respect the material if they can easily understand how it will be used in the future. Then I will be proceeding to the next topic about lecturing as your primary teaching technique using effective teaching techniques. That means only lecturing will not help. You need to have some kind of effective teaching techniques. Some TLMs are there, no, some techniques these days, ICTs, some medias, and all many electronics gadgets are there, and so many electronics, so many apps are there, so many facilities have come up in this era. So here creative teachers can use that in a very creative way. Lecturing simply will create boredom in students. How long a person will listen? For us also, no, for as a grown up person also, we have certain limit for listening, to pay attention to certain things. So likewise, students, no, like these young minds, for them, when they go for teaching a topic or sharing some kind ideas on the topic, then you need to have a creative technique with you. Then no matter how engaging you are, you see, students will likely grow tired of purely listening. Yeah, isn't? Try to encourage discussion and ask questions to students frequently. means interactive mode. That classroom should be interactive class. Simply you won't be talking, you will be giving chance to the students, you will be encouraging the students to ventilate, to express, to have say on that topic, isn't? And in lecture, try to keep them light-hearted and maybe try to crack a joke every a joke crack a joke every so often. That means you can be liberal all the time. When you strict, when you give delivering lecture, then that is a very hectic things, and they will find the situation suffocating. So just for a fun, just to make this environment a lighter one, you can have a healthy joke with them, you can share some healthy jokes with them, you can cut jokes, you can ask them to, as in if they have some kind of jokes for the good laughter in the classroom, no, they can you can encourage, you can have that kind of atmosphere, environment in a classroom, so that healthy session, healthy time in the classroom can happen. Do not be too uptight and formal with lecturing. Yes, all the time lecturing will create boredom. Then invite people to your classroom that students can look up to. Yes, see, as a motivator, when you teach as a motivator, you are shaping, you are giving a bright shape to this intelligent creature on this earth, isn't? So you need to, for motivation, to inspire them to do something good or in their field. You need to invite people in the classroom or in the school, so that they can be encouraged or they can be motivated. So you need to invite the people in the classroom that they look up to. These could be role model that the student can identify to. You can call role models, as in like the role model in the sense means not simply the one who is doing who is a very rich man, not like that, but simply the one who is doing good, who is a social worker, isn't, who is not very rich, but he is or she is a social worker, is helping society in such a immense way, in such a magnificent way, and the service which she or he is delivering is what appreciable, then or it's a good for the society. Then you need to invite such people to have a few time to have a few healthy to have few minutes of healthy time with the students. Or you can talk to the alumni, you can invite alumni also. Some of the students, former students, they have done very well in their life, isn't? You can invite them as a this one as a inspirational figure, and you can let them have a very sweet session with the these invitees. This will give them this one, and this will give them encouragement, and they will inspire to do good in their life, isn't? If the students can see clearly how to structure their learning or career in order to achieve what these people have, they will be much more inspired in their studies. Yes, when they know clear, when they have clarity, when they know their structure of no, they're going, they're stepping, when they know this step is the step, after one step, then I need to place my foot to the second step, then to third step. When they understand the structure, the step where uh, they had to step for going forward in life, no, then this is quite inspirational. They will structure their mindset, they will be encouraged, and they will be focused, and this will give them a better idea of their own aims or dreams which they have decorated for their future. And be sure the guest understand what the class is about, so that it has come relation to the materials. Yes, so when you invite invitees, that should have some concern with the certain materials. Example, when you are talking with when you are talking with uh, mm, uh, mountaineers, example, the mountaineers who has achieved who has climbed this Mount Everest and met such kind of records and all, then you can invite. you can invite such personality. You can have small talk with them, so that the hurdles, the challenges, and all these things, and what is good in it, how to overcome the difficulties, and what are the this one future prospect in this field, they can share with them, and through which they can be focused, students will be focused. And so we need to invite such personalities. Then do not ever test the students. So many kind of, here I want to say that always test, no, that the quiz test will again make them this is very much hectic for the students, that won't be very much interesting for the students, that will put unnecessary stress, isn't? So you can, students will respond better and feel more comfortable in discussion. Hmm. So assessment cannot be only done by pen and paper or by testing, no. You can have some kind of informal discussions also, some kind of other way outs also. So many assessment tools are there to find out the achievement of the students. You can be creative and you apply such methods. Okay, pen and paper writing, conducting examinations all the time may be unhealthy for the students. They will find it stressful. It is also important to remember that tests do not necessarily gauge the understanding level of every student. Some students simply do not test well, even they understand the material. Yes, it happens, no? So I already told you that conducting test is not only the way to gauge their intelligence, understanding, but you can have some kind of informal assessments also, some kind of discussion, some kind of other creative way out to gauge their achievement. And this one, uh, I would be coming to this point, last but not the least, be engaged with your own topics. As a teacher, we as a teacher need to be concerned, we need to be engaged with our own topics. Sometimes we are diverted. When we are diverted, where are we taking to the students? We simply can not imagine, isn't? So we have to focus, we have to engage in the topics which you are talking about with the students. Here you see, a student can tell when a teacher does not care about the topic he or she is teaching. It is incredible important to try maintaining an interest in your subject. Yes, we need to be incredibly maintaining. We need to. It is important to keep interest of the students. And how will you keep interest of the students on certain topic? You need to be engaged. Okay, whatever examples may be, some insights maybe you are citing, some invitees may be invited, that will be on the topic. It will keep them quite engaged. Listen, try to encourage the administration to allow you to have some wiggle room in creating your own curriculum. It is much more difficult in public school due to common core, but try to fight for freedom in the classroom. That means you as a creative teacher, you as a motivator, you as a facilitator should have some wiggle room in creating your own curriculum. Curriculum designed by the school, curriculum designed by certain board is a simply a area, the space, and under this space, being a creative teacher, being a motivator, you can have your own wiggle room. If something has to be changed or something has to be do in a way which is very much connected to topic, which is very much good for the students, then you can do it as a teacher. That is that much liberty you have. Okay, so I mean to say that's why wiggle room in creating your own kind of curriculum for the students is good for a teacher like us. And uh, I this one then I hope I have been this one I could share some of my insight in uh, the topic which I was dealing with. So here I have concluded. Hope you have got insight into the thing with me. And thank you, ma'am, Smita ma'am. I hope it's
Yes, ma'am. Thank you
it's
so
very.
much and for giving this wonderful presentation. While
Hmm.
we were listening to you very keenly, we had a few questions coming up from the viewers' side also. They would
Hmm.
like to know from you how significant it is for a teacher to be
Hmm.
approachable.
Yes, yes. Uh, Teacher, how significant it is for a teacher to be approachable. Here, teachers should be. approachable. In the approachable in the sense means sometimes we teacher we say that we are strict enough. Sometimes we never give them an open space. So when we are not open, or we when we are not approachable, students, we are curtailing their growth. We are curtailing their growth. When we are free to them, when we are open to them, when we are approachable, then students can come to us, they can have a talk with us, they can get clarity of their, they can get clarifications of their doubts and all. Then we are giving them chance and space to grow. As I have been telling, a teacher should be a motivator. When you are motivator, you have to give space for their coming, for them to come to your life, to come to your room, come to you to talk with certain issues and their concern. So you need to be open to them, you need to be inviting, you need to be accessible always as a teacher. Thank you,
Yeah,
ma'am.
I think where you would like to also agree to it that a teacher has a multifaceted role over here. Not only a teacher, but he has to be an enabler, an empowerer who empowers the student. So, as long as you are empowering and inspiring the student to come up to you, you become accessible to them. So, they have all their doubts cleared there and then when they see that yes, they can approach a teacher for a certain reason. Second question to you, ma'am, would be how effective it is to make any material connect to the real life of a child.
Hmm. Yes, as in the session I had I had mentioned on that also. Yes. Yeah, connect to the real life. Any materials which we are dealing with the students, which we are talking with, which we are taking up in the classroom with the students, that should have connection with the real life. As I have been telling, that students find boredom in the classroom. They are not interested in certain topic or certain subject. Why? They, the very first thing is that they don't find it of any use in their real life. You need to, whatever we are taking, whatever we are taking in the classroom, it need to connect the real life. We can contextualize when we are giving examples, or when we are example inviting the personalities also. I was mentioning in the session, for them, when we invite a person who is doing, who has done, or who has been doing remarkable in the local area, if the person is invited, they will be my students, your students, whoever, they will be inspired, they will be motivated. And the topic examples that can be contextualized always, they should find it connected to their real life. That will develop their interest to have time with you. They will find, when they find the topic connected to their real life, automatically they will connect it to the classroom and connect it to a topic which we are, or you are dealing with. Isn't, ma'am?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for addressing these two questions for us. And ladies and gentlemen, that was Miss Dr. Modang Rita, Principal, District Institute of Education and Training, DIET, all the way from Arunachal Pradesh, Shubhanchari. And today she had given some very significant points to be thought upon on life skills education for personal development of students. For more such valuable talks, we would like you to please be a partner with us through the Disruptive Literacy Movement. And you can mail us also on scale up at globaldream.guru or WhatsApp or call us at 91740 Till we meet next, it's bye bye from all of us from Getty. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining this afternoon.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.